Well, welcome again to Guitar Mechanics. Again, the channel with it's really an edutainment channel. I hope you're enjoying the bit of entertainment that you're getting while you're getting educated. I like to make sure you understand that everything I teach you will allow you to do what I do on the guitar when you watch me play. So our next step is to take this spelling bee exercise. Now that's a bit more advanced exercise than just the 5 chord forms. Spelling bee includes your discrete scales and your chord forms together. There's a reason we teach you this. We've taught you the 5 scale forms, and we assume that by now you're playing the 5 chord forms as well. That exercise has 5 variations, depending on which chord you start with in open position. So what we're going to add to that is a scale study that connects to each chord. There's a reason for that. You'll find a lot of times, say I'm playing along here and I'm playing in G, and I've got it right here on the with an E shape on the 3rd fret. Again, we go back to that because that's familiar for most of you. Now I know my hands go here to play these chords, and I'm strumming. Now I want to play a single note. I want to make some single notes. I want to play a solo. Now I went up here for my slide. Where am I? When you go to using the single fingers, the group of fingers that makes the chord kind of disappears in your memory. So we give you an exercise that forces you to remember that when you slide up here to this root point, you're in the next shape above the E shape. I just went up into the D shape. Now B.B. King and quite a few of the other blues guys play most of their solos on the upper 3 strings, and they concentrate on those 2 shapes. That's the shapes they use. That's a B.B. King lick. That's one of his almost patent licks. Now I've done that. Again, I'm still right here in the E shape. Where am I now? Well, I've gone up to the next chord shape, which should be right here. It should be C. Went from E to D to C. See, I didn't get lost because I know where the chord and the scale shape connect. You have to combine them. So here's the spelling bee exercise. It allows you to think about where your hand belongs for the chord and where your hand belongs to play the single notes that would attach to that shape before you move up again, 4 fingers, 4 frets, piecing your way up the neck, where you are minimalizing your motion and making your solo sound real cool. All right, so here we go. We're going to start with E in open position. We're not going to play the open position scale studies. I promise. Down the line, usually close to the last segment of our run of lessons that we allow the intermediate level and the upper membership to access this stuff, because it's advanced and we don't want to scare the beginners too much because it's quite a bit of information. Once you get to this level, this should be pretty straightforward. So we're going to strike the chord, 2, 3, 4, just like the 5 chord shapes exercise, and we'll count, keep making those motions. Again, this is just the exercise with the 5 chord forms. 2, 3 on beat 4, you move. 2, 3, and so on. This is again just repeating the 5 chord forms exercise. We're going to make it into the spelling bee. So first chord, 2, 3. Next chord would be D shape. Now play the scale, 3, 4. That's the scale that fits over this chord. Go right back to it in time. 2, 3. Now notice I didn't get all the notes. It's like practicing hurdles. If you don't get all the notes when you come back to the chord shape, the idea is to get better at it. Land on that chord. That's one of the easy ones. A shape. Now I'm going to shift back into position to play the scale. And I'll play all 2 octaves of it. And I'll come back down, all in time. Again, I'm playing the scales in 1/8 notes. Got to get right back to that chord. Now the next chord, not too bad of a reach up here. It's a G shape. Play the scale. So it's chord, scale, chord, just like a spelling bee. Say the chord, spell the chord with your scale. Try not to miss any notes. 3, 4. Now I've had a lot of practice at this and I can still miss notes. So don't be too hard on yourself. Just get to where you see this in your mind's eye. And you see where the notes are when you're playing this particular chord. Go down to the next next chord, which would be C shape. Here's the scale shape that spells that chord. Of course, you might be counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's count the interval numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Those are the interval numbers. Okay, that's going to become very essential to you. So that's the first exercise. Let's go to A shape. 2, 3. No scale here. Next chord shape. That's a heck of a reach. Good practice. You play the scale. Chord again. 3, 4. 2, 3. Play the whole discrete scale over the E shape. 2, 3. Next is the D shape. 3, 4. Shift back to the octave point. Play the scale. Bar again and play the D shape. Make sure they sound the same. 2, 3. Here's the C shape. Chord, scale, chord. There's our spelling bee. And back down. 3. Always staying in time. The real trick here is to stay in time. And even if you don't get all the notes, like I just missed a few notes there, okay? Okay, I'm going to purposely miss a couple so you can see what that might sound like. But don't get out of time. Make sure you use our online metronome. 2, 3, 4. G shape, that's a tough one. I missed a note there. But most of it was there. Again, it's like practicing hurdles. 4 and A. And remember, this is a hurdle practice, like they would if you were in track. The coach says, run the hurdles. If you knock them down, just run through the whole course, go back and set them up and do it again until you're not knocking anything down. That's what this is about. The idea is to get to where you're in rhythm and you can control the single notes along with the chord shape that you're in. Because when we're playing, just the standard old blues, your first blues in your book is blues number 1. When I want to start soloing, I have to know, well, where do I pick the notes from? Well, right here, I pick the notes all out of the E and D shape. When I shift to this shape, well, I can use the A shape or the one that's the two shapes that are attached to this root point. Back to E shape. Go up here. Same thing. Up 2 frets as where I was when C9 to D9. So you get the idea. You really have to know where you're at all the time. So these fundamental exercises are so important. And I know they're going to be a little bit repetitious, but like I said, refresh your brain. After you lose utility and you get tired of it, move to another exercise. There's plenty of fundamental exercises in this book, and they will be condensed. All of the exercises are condensed like this. So you learn rhythm, you learn a harmonic structure, and you learn melodic structure, plus you get technique studies that will work in all the songs that you're going to be playing. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. And again, if you need an evaluation, you know how to get in touch with us, Guitar Mechanics, home of guitar edutainment. And I hope you, again, keep practicing, stay true to your school, keep the faith, and I'll see you next time.